Hey, what's up, everyone? Jonathan Allen here at Floodwater Studios. And you know what? 2 weeks ago, we put up a video talking about the Fat Channel plugin by Studio One. And I have to admit here that the Fat Channel is amazing. It has awesome potential for whoever wants to use it, but there are some caveats. First thing is, if you don't subscribe to PreSonus Sphere, you don't get everything. So it's $15 a month. Something that you could look into doing if you wanted to, but saying that it's a stock plugin, yes, it's true, but you don't get all the EQs, all of the compressors. So let's take a look at a real stock plugin that you can really make shine, and it's baked right into Studio One, no matter what version you get. Let's take a look at the channel strip. So here I have a pretty simple project pulled up. It's something that I started working on maybe about a year ago. It didn't fit the record that I put out, so it kind of went on the back burner so I could focus on those other songs. But I really like this song, and I'm not done with it. And yes, I know those Studio One users out there, we're working on the trophy for the saddest songs, apparently. So take a listen. This is what we have so far. Just a simple piano, single vocal, a little bit of reverb on the vocal, a little bit of reverb on the piano just to give it that room sound. What can I change now? How can I make it out? What can I change now? How can I make it out of here? Alright, so it's very simple, very straightforward, and as we can see, if we take a look on the vocal channel here now, again, I've broken my own rules on this because nothing's colored the way I normally would color code things. It's labeled, sure, but again, this was just a demo. I was just fleshing stuff out, getting something in to the DAW here. So vocal channel right here, and I have the Fat channel on. So again, I said I love the tube compressor for vocals, so I have that set up here. Very fast release, pretty quick attack time. Threshold, not terrible, going about a 4-to-1 ratio. Boosted the gain just a little bit for things. And then the vintage EQ. What can I say? I stand by my word on the vintage EQ. Absolutely love it. Absolutely think you should use it and love it too. But let's get rid of the Fat channel for a second. So let's get this out of here because, like I said, Fat channel does come with Studio One, but you don't get everything unless you subscribe to PreSonus Sphere. So let's hop in and take a look at the plugins here. So we want to go into PreSonus, grab channel strip, drag it over, pop it on here. So channel strip gives you your low cut, your compressor. It's got an equalizer for everything, and then your global gain. So everything's all on one section, or one plugin, I should say, just like Fat channel is, but it's slightly different in how it looks and how it feels, just because of there's not different options for things that you're doing. As in, you can't choose multiple compressors to go through. You can't look at different types of EQs. Everything's kind of set here as it is. But let's make it work, because the channel strip is pretty powerful in itself. So if we solo just the vocal, and we're gonna leave the reverb on just because everything sounds better with reverb. But let's listen here channel strip is on, but let's turn it off real quick so we just have the vocal with the reverb. What can I change now? How can I make it out? So, it's not terribly recorded, first of all. You may think my voice doesn't sound the best, and I would be right there with you. But let's take a look here. So we definitely want to put a low cut in. We want to put a high pass filter in. I like to take the high pass filter usually up around 125 to 150. Just want to get out the rumble for everything. So we're just going to pop it at around 130. Just leave it there. And we're going to turn that on so we can see what we're doing here as well. Compressor. So we want a fast compression. That's what I had in the previous setting for the fat channel. And just kind of gives you the compress knob and an expand knob. So let's listen, see what we can see with the adaptive compression over here. See, get that visual representation at least. And I am going to throw my cans on for this just so I can get a better grasp of what's happening. What can I change now? How can I make it out? What can I change now? How can I make it out of here? So this compressor, you really have to make it work. Really have to push it up. Now, again, I'm not doing a lot with my voice to cause drastic peaks and valleys in the tonality or in the expression, the dynamics, but you can see this little light LED that they have in here. It'll start to warm up as you see or hear the compression coming through. So one more time, you can just watch this here. What can I change now? So you can see when the wah comes through, it lights up a little bit. It's compressing that down, dropping the dynamics there. Let's mess with the expand as well, see what we can get from that. How can I make it out? What can I change now? Honestly, I'm not hearing anything with the expand aspect of it. I like to pop things up to 100% and see what happens. What can I change now? How can I make it out? So we definitely don't want it to be on a slow attack because then we start to hear the pumping that the compressors can do, especially if you listen here. Make it out. So keep an eye when you're working with your compressors, the speed that the compressor is working. Now, that's definitely a stylistic choice in a lot of different music where you have the bass really pumping on things. That's one of the ways that they create that is with slow compression, the way it's attacking very gradually onto it and letting go for the release as well. But even the medium didn't sound too bad. Can I change now? You kind of hear a little bit of pumping there, so we're going to keep it to fast. That's I'm always a fan of fast compression. It doesn't affect me. Make it out. It sounded like it was pumping there, but it's make it out. So I'm sliding into that, but it can start to feel like it's pumping depending on how we're setting it. But now let's take a look at the EQ for everything. So we have our low, mids, and highs. Here we can set the frequencies, and then you can boost or cut. Now, one thing that I've always been taught, and I tend to go for, if you're trying to enhance the actual voice or the instrument, just making that instrument sound clearer or making the voice sound clearer, then we want to do subtractive EQ. We want to cut frequencies. If we're looking to alter the tone, if we're looking to make it sound like something else, then we want to boost frequencies. Now, there's exceptions to every rule, if you want to say, where a lot of times on vocals, the high end, we want to boost that a little bit for some crispness, some presence, but it can start to get way too crispy pretty quickly. So we want to tame everything, make it natural, but also make it stand out. So let's take a listen here. Now, we did do our low cut, so we have the high pass filter engaged, so we can mess with these frequencies here a little bit and move those around, bring them up a little bit here to different spectrums here. But let's take a listen. What can I change now? How can I make it out? What can I change now? Okay, so we boosted the highs less than a dB just to get some crispness coming through, some presence here. The mids, we cut less than a dB. The lows, we also cut less than a dB, so around 513, 1.8, and 7. We're not trying to drastically change the vocal. We just want the performance to shine as it is, or as much as it can. So we have compression, we have the EQ, and we have gain at the end. When you are dropping frequencies, when you're cutting frequencies out, you're losing volume as well. Same thing with compression. When you're compressing something, you're moving the whole volume spectrum down to make the peaks, the higher tones, everything that's loud, bring those down so you can bring the softer parts up. But now you've lost a lot of volume, so that's why there's the makeup gain, to pull it all back up together to make it more even, but keep it the volume that you're looking for. So here, we're going to play with the piano one more time, and we're going to see how much we need to adjust the gain. What can I change now? How can I make it out? What can I change now? How can I make it out of here? So, the one thing to really keep in mind is I'm not a great piano player, first of all. Will never claim to be, so roast that all you want. I completely understand. So dynamically, I'm not great on piano. So you hear a bunch of things that are popping in and out that are kind of, freaking out for some of those notes here, which I do have a compressor on. It's not doing a whole lot, but some things you just need somebody who knows the instrument to play it. But yeah, the channel strip, it's doing a great job at what it needs to do. We only need it to cut the lows, compress the vocal to make everything not equal, but close, so we don't have a ton of dynamics going way up and way down. We need everything to be level. We have a little bit of expansion. We have a little EQ carving here that we've done, just a little bit of subtraction. We brought the gain up just a little bit. That's all you need when we're working in the studio. Now, you might think, no, you need this plugin, this plugin, this plugin. But honestly, if you look at what they're doing, most of the time they're compressing, altering EQ, or it's some sort of volume. Now, I know there's outliers, so come at me, bro. It's cool. But this is the basics of mixing, the basics of what we're trying to do in creating music, is making the performance shine. And this is a great tool baked in to Studio One. No matter what version you can have the free version, you can have Sphere, you can have whatever you want, professional, whatever. But this is here to be used, and it's a great tool. I absolutely love this. Now, the cool thing with Channel Strip 2 is it has built-in presets for things also. So if you're new to this, you're just getting into recording, you got Studio One, you got the artist where it's free, you don't have a ton of inputs, but you still have all the plugins that it offers. You can come in here and say, okay, vocals. So, okay, I'm a male vocal. All right, let's listen to male vocal 1 and see what it sounds like. So we can pull this over. Okay, male vocal 1. So it's okay, so let's listen to that. Let me see how that sounds. What can I change now? How can I make it out? Now that vocal's very crispy. It's very present, very bright, and that's okay if that's something that you like or something that you want for that tone, or for that song, rather. Absolutely. Now, what if you're like, oh, I chose male vocal 2, so let's check out male vocal 1. My apologies. All right, so this is male vocal 1. A way different EQ, compression's different, expansion's different. So let's listen to this one. The low cut is non-existent. It's not even on. So let's take a listen. What can I change now? How can I make it out? I mean, honestly, that sounds really good to me. So don't be afraid to load a preset, especially when you're newer to something, or if you're just in a slump. If you're having any sort of block and you can't think of something, or you're just having some troubles one day in the studio and you're like, man, I wanted something that sounded like this. I wanted something that had this feel. Take a look at the presets. Don't be afraid to use what somebody else has created, because there's a lot of work, a lot of professionalism, and that goes into this. It's very, very useful here. So female vocal, backing vocal, I'm not a female, so I'm not going to put that on my voice to see what it sounds like, because it's not set for a male voice. But who knows? It could work. It could work. But let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments here. We love hanging out with you guys. We enjoy the interaction we're getting, so keep on letting us know what's going on with you, what questions or comments you have. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you don't know what video I'm talking about with the Fat Channel, I'm going to put it at the end of this video. You can click into it, watch that. Fat Channel is amazing, but there's some caveats to it because some of the things you do need to purchase. So it was a little misleading, but I apologize. So please forgive me. Hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the music making. We'll catch you next time. See ya.